What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gladiators Tennis, and hopefully you still remember us because, you know, it's been some time. But anyways, today we're reviewing the new legendary Babolat Pure Aero, maximum spin and all that stuff, you know, Rafael Nadal. By the way, we're actually in Armenia. Check out the specs. Yes, absolutely. I'm so ready because, you know.
Nice tennis coach. Alright,
yeah,
but say about the racket?
The first time ever, I was gonna say something about the design instead of the actual racket itself, because it's a little bit controversial. I feel like some people really like it, others really hate it. I still haven't decided. Let us know in the comments what you think about it, and check out my highlights that I'm gonna do right now, and not that I've already tried and actually in another country and done the highlights.
The Aero. Is there a racket that's more famous than the yellow stick of Rafael Nadal? Oh wait, it's not so yellow anymore, but the point that I'm trying to make is still there nevertheless. It's obviously endorsed by a guy who isn't exactly the last person in our sport, and unlike the pro stuff endorsed by Federer, it is used by so many on the tour and off the tour, thanks to its ease of use. Whoa, almost forgot. Tennis Warehouse Europe, thank you very much for providing us with this frame. Now, the Aero is known for its insane spin. We're talking actually insane levels of spin, and every single generation lives up to that reputation. The ease with which you can apply spin to all types of shots is simply unmatched by any racket out there. With its thick, flat-shaped beam and 16x19 string pattern that is now a little tighter, the racket never disappoints when it comes to spin. With the 2022 version of the Aero, it seems like Babolat tried to give it a little bit more control, and if you know me a little bit, you know that I can't really complain when a company decides to add some control to their racket. On the forehands, the awesome saturation of spin combined with a pretty decent control was often leaving me with a big smile on my face. I could do both, defend with deep high shots and attack with flatter, unreturnable winners that there's absolutely no way anyone in the history of the world can get to. Let's also not forget about the crazy angles. When the opponent is at the net and you're forced to the forehand side, the amount of angle that one can achieve in this scenario should really be prohibited. I'm not a fan of cross-court passings though. I'm more of a flat missile down the line that looks sexy but only 2 out of 10 land in kind of guy. Anyways, forehands did feel great, and I would say that I prefer the new Aero over the previous one on that specific shot. On the backhands, however, quite a disappointment. I didn't really like the previous generation on the backhands because of the lack of stability, and with the new one, it's still lacking it. I would even go as far as to saying that it's even more unstable. Not sure why that is, but definitely felt like it. I wasn't confident enough with my backhand to change down the line or to switch to an aggressive cross-court shot as much as I usually do. What I was confident enough doing, and that's after 2 weeks of not picking up the racket, was volleying. For some unknown reason, it performed really well at the net. I say unknown, but like I know it's maneuverable and quite forgiving when it comes to the sweet spot, so makes sense kind of. But really good, better than the previous one for some reason. Serves, the previous Aero surprised me with just how stable it was on the serves, and especially on the flatter serves. For the racket of its category, it is very solid on the serves. The power is over the top in a good way, and if you want to serve a high bounce and kick or a wide open slice serve, Babolat Pure Aero 2023, thank you very much. Who would I then recommend this to? It's simple, someone who's looking for a racket with the most spin, not overwhelming but really good power, and for whom control and feel aren't a massive priority. You could be aggressive or defensive player, but as long as those priorities are in such order, you will really enjoy the new Babolat Pure Aero. If you're willing to buy this frame, there's going to be a link in the description together with our exclusive discount code as soon as this racket is out for sale. Also, you might have noticed that we've skipped 2 weeks of posting because we're on tournaments and all over the place in general. And we might skip a few more, but glad. We'll get back to a fixed schedule as soon as we're both back in Barcelona. Thanks for watching.
Guys, okay, look, here's a little bit of a challenge. Try to find Armenia on the world map in Google without searching it, and if you do it in less than 5 minutes, hit the subscribe and bell button.
We're not gonna get any subscribers.
Okay, if you don't, subscribe. And follow us on Instagram as well. Areg, you didn't forget about Instagram, right?
And like the post, that's what I wanted to say.
And like the post.
Yes.
Bye. Waar is de zachtperes?
Waar is de zachtperes? Want is?
Here's the racket.
Here's the racket. All right, guys. First of all, we're kind of sorry that we disappeared, kind of, but
For kind of 2 weeks, kind of.
Kind of. We had some tournaments. You might get a video on that, maybe. Who knows? And plus, we had few like short holidays, no?
Yeah.
But we're back. Well, are we back? I'm literally like touching the water of a resort, funky resort, and our friend is right there, so we're like having fun. So yeah, this racket, maybe I should talk about it.
Maybe you should talk about the racket.
I have high expectations about
Do you?
it. I do. Because
you tried the 315 version of the old Aero and you really liked it.
That's spectacular. So I hope it's close to his older brother, bigger brother.
Okay. Oh.
We can all agree that the Babolat Pure Aero is for sure part of the royalty of the tennis racket world. It's a very important racket that never surprises but also never disappoints. It's made for one thing, but it's the best at that one thing. And it's super known and loved for a reason. The reason name might be Rafael Nadal. But in theory, it's not only for that. So when the new model came out, we automatically knew that it's gonna be good. You should never question this royalty, except if you're gladiators. So when we playtested this frame, my first sensation was some kind of relief, because I missed that feeling of having an unmatchable spin capacity without a power overdose, like on my Speed MP of previous generation. For example, with the forehands, it's like if my opponent court got bigger, because I could go for bigger shots, especially on the forehand cross court, and I was controlling the ball thanks to that huge amount of spin. It felt like I wasn't able to miss a ball. Of course, when you get used to heavier rackets, the stability on this 300-gram frame feels a bit off. But with Babolat Pure Aero, the spin is always the answer. By moving my wrist a bit more, I could even pull off some decent approach shots. And then, nobody asked this racket to be good at the volleys, but it just is. It's his hobby. It's just something that he likes to do. Even though it's not the most stable one, you could still get a good amount of touch. And when it comes to the serve, slice and backhand, I don't even want to talk about it. So you interpret that fact as you like. But Grisha doesn't let me be so lazy, so I will have to talk about it. It was shit. Even Grisha with his fabulous backhand was hitting shit backhands. Because if his backhand go less than 200 miles per hour, then the racket is not too good. So yeah, you seem to observe our grades more than the highlights. So there you go. Pow!